Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to another episode of Ball Chat. I'm your host, Benton, along with the family. Biggs, how are you doing, boss?
I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Kamon and Kevin are away on an assignment this week. Kamon is enjoying the festivities of the FIFA Women's World Cup. So, big up yourself out there, and football lovers and Ball Chat followers, look out for Kamon's segment on the World Cup, reviewing what's going on and the sights and sounds from Paris. But online, we have the wonderful and always amazing and very passionate, my brethren, Sean. Sean, how are you doing? Sitting in.
I'm here. Thanks for having me again, guys.
Oh, the fans really request you because after the last episode, they said, yo, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Which is not very often you hear for Arsenal fans.
Oh, boy.
So thank you for joining us. So football lovers, this week we're going to review the Women's World Cup. The Women's World Cup officially kicked off on Friday, and we've had some fantastic games. We're going to talk about the Reggae Girlz. Reggae Girlz took the field today against Brazil and chop that up and discuss that for a little bit. We're going to talk about the CONCACAF Gold Cup and set that up coming on the pipe this week and starting of this week, and Copa America. We're going to briefly talk about Copa America and what's going on with Neymar and all the off-the-field drama. It's like them have a Kardashian thing going on down there in Brazil.
Yeah.
Drama. But kicking it off, football lovers, the Reggae Girlz, FIFA Women's World Cup. Let's start off with the Reggae Girlz and your thoughts on their performance today, Sean.
Okay, watching the team today, my analysis was basically the same as always. But I was very proud of the girls today. To be fair, I was very proud. I saw fight, and we must look at it this way. Brazil, I think, is the third rank in women
15.
football.
15th.
And 15th?
Yeah.
Oh, they're 15th. But this is a team that goes to the World Cup on every occasion, basically. So they have experience and all of that. And even the young lady that scored, no pun intended, the lady that scored the hat-trick today, she has experience behind her name in terms of World Cup. She had 7 goals before today. And when you look at that, our girls, we were just exciting just to be at the World Cup. But I think this is a good group of girls. We spoke earlier about this team need a little bit more tweaking just to get to that level where you have a Brazil or a England or even a Canada, right?
Yeah.
But today, I thought without the experience and that little tweak, they did very well. They were unfortunate in some instances, but overall, I was proud of them, and they only can rise above this as from today. I don't think they're going to be any worse. They'll only play better, and based on what they saw today, I think they will look at the game and say, all right, we can do this. We can at least get a win out of this World Cup, and let's see what happens in the next matches.
Yeah, so I think I 100% agree with you. First, we want to comment, shout out to the ladies. I mean, they were impressive. They did us proud. They fought. But your thoughts on it, Biggs? We want to give them accolades for going out there, give them credit for going out there and competing, knowing that there's a gulf between Brazil and Jamaica. Like Sean said, Brazil has been to many World Cups. They're rich in experience. This is the first run go at it for Jamaica. But your thoughts on their performance, Biggs?
It was as expected. No, I don't think anybody in their right mind thought Jamaica could beat Brazil.
Come on, hold it down.
No, but though, even though they lost, we have seen where teams play in competitions and they just look completely out of their league.
Yes.
Yeah,
and Jamaica
that's not the case today.
And I have to give all the teams in the World Cup this credit so far.
Yes.
All these teams seem to be prepared, look ready to execute a game plan. Now, we're going to talk about the game plan later, whether the game plan is right or not. But regardless, though, Jamaica gave a good account of themselves. The players gave a good account of themselves. Again, I'm referencing now to the game plan because I don't think they were put in the right position to be successful, but that's neither here nor there. But overall, I'm proud of the girls. They stood up, they faced the challenge, and they didn't wither under the sun. So,
and like you said, Biggs, they didn't look like a fish out of water.
Right.
They look like they belong on the stage.
Right.
Now, game plan. Humans, they went with a 4-4-3 formation.
4-3-3.
A 4-3-3 formation. Bunny Shaw looked like she was starved for service throughout this entire fiasco of game planning. And, Marlon Sweatman, I think games are lost and won in midfield, and I'm tad biased to that. I thought Sweatman and Swaby at the base of that midfield were quite vulnerable. I thought the right back, Swaby, also was quite vulnerable. But your assessment of Minzy's strategy in terms of, going a 4-3-3 formation, Biggs.
Well, the 4-3-3 formation. Anybody that know football, and we're gonna have a formation shows, right?
Yeah.
4-3-3 formation is predicated on possession, speed, and counter-attacking. That is what Liverpool used over the last 2 years and became European champions. Jamaica had neither today. Now, Trudy Carter looked well in the first 10 minutes, but then her lack of match practice showed up. I have the feeling like the Jamaican scout, and I could be wrong, but from my perspective, the Jamaican scouting staff looked at Brazil and said, they're a bunch of old women.
Yes.
They haven't won a game all year.
Yes.
We can go out there and attack them.
Yes. Brazil have lost since April of last year. They haven't won a game,
So I think they said, Formiga is 41 years old. We should be able to overrun them. And we should be able to get possession. That didn't work.
It did not work. It definitely did not work. Sean, what do you think about the tactics and the setup by Minzy and staff?
Junior is right. And Junior, you're right. 4-3-3 calls for wingers.
Yes.
Right? Because when I used to play back in last P, we used to play 4-3-3. Right? And this is something that we trained every single day. And back then, we have what is called a winger. And this winger runs from what you call from the right back and left back position and keep overlapping. That's how we used to play.
Yes.
So these two players were two specialized players that we used to use. Very quick. You understand? And they know that they're supposed to be in that position regardless. You understand? The midfield, take it up and push it out there all the time. And then move down there and they get it. You understand? And that always worked. Now, you're right. We didn't have the players for that today. So they should have been looking at that. And this thing about age, and you think you can overrun an experienced set of players who are gifted, not only experienced enough, very gifted and talented. And we have seen that, gentlemen, even with our little league that we play on Sunday evening, when we have the over 40 versus the younger guys.
Hey.
We defeated them. Why? We use what? Experience. You understand? Because we think the game more, and we can't move like the younger players, but we think the game, and that's what Brazil used today. So when you look at Minzy using that strategy today, it wasn't the right one. Play to your strength, and your strength is Khadijah Shaw. At all times, try to ensure that this young lady get the ball.
Yes.
Play to your strength, because that is where your strength is. And I think he failed there. But we have said this before the World Cup started, I am proud of Minzy and where he took the team.
Yes.
But based on what I've seen since qualification and coming up to the World Cup, I thought that he needed a little assistance to push us over the edge to get us where we wanted to go with the girls, But I'm not taking anything from him, because he did the job by taking us to the World Cup. But sometimes we have to make the tough decisions and say, hey, we're going to give you some help. And we're going to bring in somebody who can help to push them over. You're not going to run him,
Yes.
You understand? You're not going to run him because he took you there. but he need a little help.
Yeah.
You know, find that specialist who can give the girls that extra edge that they need now to compete with these world beaters.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. So you can't really blame Minzy, you know. Him can't go over his level, you know. That is where him stop. You know?
But credit to Sydney Schneider in goal. I thought, you know, a lot of us were surprised when she was named in the starting 11, but I thought she was absolutely magnificent between the sticks. If it wasn't for her, we probably would have gotten probably about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, she saved the penalty. So she was fantastic. Konya Plummer was absolutely brilliant. I mean, she was always getting overrun there, but she stood. She was like a brick wall in the back, representing.
Yep.
So those are 2 outstanding players that I thought really showed up and really led from the front. You know, at the press conference leading up to the game against Brazil, you know, Minzy said that, you know, well, I was told that Marta was out. He said, hooray, you know, and he said, well, we're not here to make up numbers. You know, we're here to compete. And we're, you know, his objective, what he considers a good performance for the Reggae Girlz is to actually make it out of this group. That's what he would define as good. So he has his eyes set on, you know, higher goals and high expectation. It's just that tactically, I think that he was left a bit wanting in that game, you know. So to pivot away from the Reggae Girlz a little bit, and we look forward, they have Italy and Australia in the group. Italy surprised Australia in that group, but do you see the Reggae Girlz leaving out of this group as the Minzy's qualifier for a good performance in this World Cup?
After that Italy-Australia game?
The coach still has his expectations, but do we adjust our expectations after that?
We have to give him a reality check. It's not adjusting expectation. He needs a reality check. And the reality is Australia is a big side. And we saw Italy brought the Italian style of football and impose their will against a big side. Let us not forget, that was the same Australian team that defeated Brazil in the last World Cup and kicked them out in, I think it was around the 16.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Australia is really a tough. And
Italy beat them.
Yes. Well, what Italy did, Shauna, I'm going to get you chime in on this in a little bit. But what Italy did, it clearly reflects the Italian way of playing football.
Yeah.
You know, organization, they're very solid at the back. They're not married to any sort of high intensity offense. Their first objective is to defend, protect their goal, and then they sneak a 1 or 2 goals and lock shop.
Very deliberate.
Very deliberate approach. You know, I was speaking to my buddy down in Brazil, and he says, you know, he saw the Italians and they're boring, but that's exactly what's the recipe
Italian
for success
football.
for them.
Yeah.
So, but Sean, do you see, you know, to piggyback on what, you know, Big said, do you think Minzy is overestimating his objective here of trying to get out of this group?
Of course he is. Remember, you know, we are looking, as I said, we are looking from even before the World Cup, you know.
Yeah.
And there are certain issues that we think that needs to be addressed first before we can actually compete with these teams.
Yeah.
And Junior said it best. This Australia team is no joke, you know. Today, the result today was a surprise.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, it was an upset.
Yes, it was.
You understand?
Yeah, it was an upset.
And even the analysts all over the world is saying, yeah, this was an upset. Nobody expected Italy to beat Australia.
I think Australia is the 3rd ranked team in the world, I believe.
Yeah, Australia is highly ranked.
Right, that is it, Junior. And these girls came from behind.
Yes.
You know, these girls, and you see, probably that is why I enjoy, to be honest, for the past few World Cups, and whether male or female World Cup, I've been enjoying the female World Cup a lot more than the male World Cup, you know. Because what we have seen in the female World Cup since the female World Cup started is non-stop competitiveness from every single team.
Yeah.
Teams don't come here to joke around. You know, people don't care if you have a name. When you come to the female World Cup, it's pride, national pride. And we have been seeing this in all the female World Cup coming up to even this one, and we have not been disappointed thus far.
Yes.
You know, so with Minzy trying to say that you know, he think that the girls is going to listen, Junior is right. He's going to need, what would Peter Bunting say, no, divine intervention. You know?
So, big up to Mincy and the Reggae Girlz. We look forward to their next match. And the next match is a few days away. I'm not,
Thursday against Italy.
Thursday against Italy.
Yeah.
So we look
Or
forward
Friday our time? I think it's Friday, our time.
Probably Friday.
Friday against Italy. One of these days,
Yeah.
we'll put it up on our social media platform. But once again, to reiterate, we're very proud of our Reggae Girlz.
Yes,
the passion, the commitment, the drive. We ride with the Reggae Girlz, win, lose, or draw, because this team is going somewhere. And before we wrap up from them, the important thing to point out is that this is a young group of players. You keep this core of players to go. I know this is probably asking a lot of the JFF. Keep this core players together. The next World Cup is when you're really expected to make some noise. Get the experience now. Get them sharpened for future competitions. Pay them well. And then I expect greater things from them coming on the pipe. But that will take a lot of work from the JFF. Big ups to JFF.
Benton, before you close off there, just one note that people need to understand. I've been following the female football for a while in Jamaica.
Yes.
And to be fair, we have improved drastically.
Yeah.
Yes.
When it comes to the team, we have improved drastically. And we have to, whoever was involved in this intimately, we have to give them the kudos.
Yes.
And that is why we do believe that they will only keep improving.
Yes.
They have the perfect scouting system right now.
Yeah.
Right.
NCAA college system.
Yes, yes.
I mean, these girls are being trained in America for their individual colleges.
Yeah.
And then they are being brought into the national program.
Yeah,
So that is, I mean...
You're absolutely right. And big up to Sidela Marley, because she continued to rep for this program and continue to support the ladies. Ball Chat is 100% with the Reggae Girlz. We follow and we support them. And we put out their names anywhere we can, and we also promote them financially also, or support them financially also. So big up to the Reggae Girlz. The World Cup though, the games that we have watched so far. I mean, France defeated South Korea in a mauling. The French team looks to be one of the favorites. Spain and South Africa in that matchup. Spain ended up winning that game 3-1, but South Africa really showed up and showed out, led for a large portion of the game. Your assessment on that game? There was a red card to South Africa in that game, a South African player in that game. But your assessment on that game? It really was an exciting and intriguing matchup.
I saw the highlights of those games because you guys know I was at church. It's my Sabbath.
Yeah.
I saw the highlights in the night. I was very impressed with that South African team. You know.
Yeah.
And you always have these African teams that just come up, out of the blue sometimes to produce some really good teams. And we also have those drama that always happen in the African side, whether male or female. And so I was really impressed with the South African team. And I think if they weren't so unfortunate, probably we would have a different result in the game. And we're looking for better and greater things from South Africa. We just need to see how they perform in the next match and the other one.
Yeah.
I think this is South Africa's first World Cup as well.
Yes.
So that's impressive.
They're their first. So the inexperience kind of showed also. So the skill is there, the talent is there, but I think what is rearing its ugly head. First of all, I agree with Sean and you, Benton, when you guys said that the Women's World Cup is real football, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And when I watch these games, one thing that stood out to me over the last couple of days, those offside calls that are being called. These are blatant offside calls. These are technical runs and technical reads by the defenders and making the right step together.
Yes.
And with all that showing up now, where VAR has to come into play many times to confirm some offsides that were that tight.
Yeah.
I think the lack of practice games for these poorer countries are showing.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is true.
Because that is, to me, that's what kills South Africa.
Yeah, small margins.
The small margins that practice games will give you the real world practices. They don't have it.
Yeah.
And I think that was the difference between South Africa and Spain. That's the difference between Jamaica and Brazil also.
Yeah. Quality opponents playing very good games. South Africa, before they led 1-0 for a long time, and then they had a goal mount opportunity 2-3 yards out, and they missed a sitter. They should have gotten that goal and then put Spain under more pressure. But one thing they demonstrated is that speed troubles the Spain team, and it's just like the men's Spanish national team. Speed troubles them. They love to pass the ball around. They have very high possession. That when a team sits on them or park a bus technically and then counter them, they really are vulnerable at the back. So I was impressed with South Africa. Very impressed with them. Any other big takeaways? I mean, from this Women's World Cup so far?
France.
Yeah.
Wow. What can we say? Wow.
Yeah.
This French team. Listen, man, when you talk about woos and confidence,
yes,
this French team is no joke.
Yes.
They are doing it with everything. They can score it with the head.
Yeah.
They can score the free kicks. They can take shots from out there. That fourth goal, that fourth goal was something special.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The goal by, I think it's Summer.
It reminds me of a Cortina when Cortina was on form in when he used to be in Liverpool.
Liverpool, yeah.
Remember some of those goals he used to just cut in right there and listen, man. That fourth goal was no joke.
Yes, it was a good,
and
goal.
This French team is going to be a really serious team to beat.
Yeah.
They're definitely powered by the home, but the game that stood out to me is Germany and China.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, China looks like 99 China.
And this is good.
Okay.
This is good for the competition.
Yes, because Germany is not a soft team.
Yeah.
And the way how Germany started that game, I even posted in the WhatsApp chat, I feel sorry for China.
Yes.
In the first 10 minutes, I felt sorry for them. But then you saw them just get them traction and just slowly peel back the onion. And they should have scored at least 2 goals before Germany scored.
They definitely had chances.
Yeah.
And so that's a tricky thing for China now, not picking anything up in that game against Germany, because they have a Spain and a South Africa to play in that group. That game against Spain, will be a deciding factor. So to kind of give football lovers the outline of how teams make it to the round of 16, because there are 6 groups, you have the top 2 winners, and the next 4 will actually go through. The next best 4 of the lot will go through. So there will be a 3rd place team. There will be 4 3rd place teams that make it out of these 6 groups. So. But China, I thought was absolutely impressive against Germany. Germany is one of the big favorites coming in, but China really pushed them back. The South Africa goal also, just to piggyback on what Sean said about the goal scored by the French national team, the South African goal by, I can't remember her name. It was a brilliant goal also. Similar sort of the deal, cut inside and put that one in the so-called ratul or pigeon, as the man of my country would call it. But the FIFA Women's World Cup is absolutely fantastic. I am having a joy watching every minute of these games. And this all bodes well for women's football. I guess it goes to show that there's been more investment in the sport, so the competition is definitely at the high level.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I am very happy. There's not much or if any diving in this stage.
Yeah.
It's
Real football.
It's real football. The big dogs, Team USA, will roll out on Tuesday. Getting a Team USA shirt ready.
They're not winning that.
USA will play Thailand on Tuesday, and of course another big dog, Japan. I'm looking forward to see Japan play.
Yes, that's too much I'm looking forward to see, Benton. The Japan, I want to see how they play this World Cup.
Yes, I'm looking forward to see how Japan play. And like Big said, the teams usually take on a similar model as the national program. And Japan embodies this idea of passing football, the Zico influence on them. I'm looking forward to see how they play. So, any final thoughts on the Women's World Cup?
It is just a start. Exciting.
Yeah, it's just.
And we'll pick our teams as soon as the round of 1. At least when everybody play their first game, I'll tell you who's gonna win.
Yeah. Yes, as long as once we see what the teams are looking at, how they perform. To segue from the Women's World Cup, to segue to the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Jamaica, the Reggae Boys defeated the USA in a friendly match as they prep for the World Gold Cup. So, Your thoughts? I mean, Jamaica, I can't remember the last time Jamaica defeated USA in anything. And the Greg Berhalter, the coach of the USA, newly appointed coach of Team USA, is already on the fire. They're playing Venezuela currently, and they're currently down 3-0 to Venezuela. At this rate, before we get to the Reggae Boys, at this rate, do you think this Gold Cup is a pivotal tournament for Greg Berhalter in the summer? He have to win or do an excellent performance, do you think, to keep his job? Or is this too early?
Him gone. He's gone.
He's gone.
If you don't win the Gold Cup and win it convincingly, you're gone.
He just got hired 2 months ago.
They will not have another Klinsmann. They will not risk another Klinsmann. So they're not going to give you leeway, especially for a guy that don't have any name recognition.
This is true.
Man, get out of here, man. But let me take. Well, go ahead, Sean.
Go ahead, Sean.
No, man, I agree with Juna. Because, listen, it was embarrassing enough, that they didn't make the World Cup,
Yeah.
And then they're building now under the IAU and a little tournament with the teams that can stop you from making the World Cup again.
Yeah.
You still can't beat them.
Yeah.
He'll be gone. Yeah. I agree with Junior.
And one other thing and we soon get to the Reggae Boys in a second, but one of the statements that stood out from one of the key critique of the U.S. program is Stuart Holden. Stuart Holden in that game said, "This is embarrassing." In the game against the Reggae Boys, he said, "I have not seen the U.S. look this bad," and these are players. So, Greg Berhalter, good luck, boss. Good luck to you. But to segue from Greg Berhalter and Team USA to the big bad Reggae Boys, the Reggae Boys picked up a victory. Your assessment, it looks like they did play well, to give them credit. There are a lot of off-the-field issues, and we'll talk about this in the mix of stuff. But first, your assessment, Sean, of the way they played against the Team USA.
Well, highlights as usual, yeah. I saw, and I thought that the boys, we must give them credit. It's not necessary that the USA played that badly. What about Jamaica stepping it up?
Yeah.
Because we really didn't expect, that performance that we put out against them. So let's give the Reggae Boys some credit. Let's give the coaching staff a little credit too. That we did something that we don't normally do to the United States. For us to come in their backyard and defeat them. And they always say one love is one of the toughest beating you can ever get.
Yeah.
But USA, I can tell you, with that team, though, they have a lot of work to do because in saying that, I went and saw the Venezuela and the Mexico match, right? And looking at this Mexico team, which USA have to play again to qualify, they have to play them to beat them to win the Gold Cup. They have to play them to qualify for more than likely for the World Cup again. USA is in no class to this Mexico team.
Yeah.
Based on what I've seen from the two of them. So they have a lot of work to do. Yeah. But I have to still big up my Jamaican team. We have been rebuilding. We have some young, talented players. And what has been happening to this Jamaica team over the years too, which is good, like the ladies, we have been using mainly professionals now. And that is a key to when you want to compete against the world best. You have to use what they use, which is professional players. And we have adopted that thing now, even though people might say, they're probably not the top professionals, but professionals are professionals. So they have been learning the game. They've been getting a lot of game time, in their various leagues. And we have been seeing that now in our team. All we need now is for us to just get the right coaching, put in the right tactics in place, and use the ability that they have been given from their various coaches, from their various clubs, and incorporate that into one unit and form a chemistry. And then I think the sky's the limit.
Well, all that is good, fine and done, and I agree with you 100%, Sean. But this is what annoys the hell out of me with Jamaica. It is not the first time Jamaica has, forget about the win, it's not the first time Jamaica has played America and provided a good performance.
That's true.
It's not the first time our Jamaica also has a history of playing against Mexico and providing a good performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, that performance always happened early in the World Cup cycle. And that same Mexico team and that same America team end up taking 3-4 steps ahead of Jamaica by the time the real games come around.
Yeah.
That is correct.
This is what annoys me with Jamaican football. It shows that we have the potential. If we have a new Jamaican team and a new American team, we have the potential to be where they are 4 years from now.
Yeah,
But we never meet that potential because a lack of practice games. We show that this team come together with no games practice, and America come together as a bug America team with limited practice games. Them not good like we.
Yeah.
But 3 years from now, you put us against that same American team, they will run us off the field. How you explain that?
So this is kind of linked to poor management from the JFF,
Exactly.
right? So, and we are already concerned about issues for this Gold Cup with the Reggae Boys. Kamar Lawrence, the leader of the group, of the players group, issued a statement in the middle of the week saying that they got an offer from the JFF regarding payment for this tournament. They made a counter offer, and the JFF reply was no. In the no counter offer, the decision is over. You cannot get that. So Kamar Lawrence had some real grievances. He said that no, we have to return to Jamaica and have a camp, and we're going to be sleeping at the players' house or JFF house, and he kind of adds a 6 feet on under low to sleep in those kiddie beds. So some of these things should not be in the public domain, but where does a Kamar Lawrence and the players turn to when this has been a chronic issue in this sort of thing? How do you solve these issues, and will they even get solved?
They have full leverage right now, though, because the games will be played in Jamaica.
Yes.
JFF wants to make money.
Yes.
You don't want to send out Cavaliers.
Yes, about that.
11 to represent Jamaica because your best players are on strike.
Yes.
And you just bring in Leon Bailey. So when if Leon Bailey, who is your cash cow right now, sides with the players and come out and say, I'm not playing for Jamaica because we're not getting the money that we deserve. Just imagine the press. So the players at this moment have the leverage. Worse after beating America 1-0 in America. Sorry for GFF.
They're in a very strong position.
Of course.
They're very, very strong.
A question here, gentlemen. Because I've been reading that too, the Leon Bailey thing. Did he play any at all the other night?
No, he did not play.
What happened?
So he put out a statement. And I think Biggs is well aware of my frustration with this thing about Leon Bailey and the saga with him. So he put out a statement prior to the game. I think about 30 or 40 minutes on his Instagram platform, saying that he's recovering from the injury, so he won't be in tonight's starting 11, and he will be available June 17 for the first matchup. So he's recovering from an injury. There was a lot of hype, especially by the JFF and the Leon Bailey groupie club. Apparently, he has a lot of fans out there who love him. They had barbecue, man have cookout, man ready for the Leon Bailey show. Like somehow Leon Bailey is gonna save Jamaican football. I don't know. I don't know what to expect, but I think they're mortgaging the house trying to appease Leon Bailey. I think we need to appease it to the group, the mass, the team itself, rather than trying to appease a one player. I have a serious issue with a player putting out a statement on Instagram 30 or 40 minutes before the actual release of the starting 11, or a few hours before the release of the starting 11, to let his fans know that he's not playing. So, but this is the bet that the JFF decided to line, right? So
that is unprofessional, if you ask me.
But the players themselves played well in this game against USA.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But my hunch here is that can they repeat this sort of performance? Do we expect a competitive team in the Gold Cup?
Of course.
Providing,
I think so.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Now, can they win the Gold Cup? I don't think so.
Last time they made it to the final and they lost to the USA in the final. But we don't.
4-1?
Yeah.
Or 4-love?
Yeah.
This team can't beat Mexico. I'm sorry, but I don't see anybody in CONCACAF now that can beat Mexico.
Yeah,
And that's the truth. Worse with that coach they have, this coach is so organized, Benton. In his style of football is awesome.
Hey,
there's a certain level of patience with this coach. That they went down 1-0, you know.
Yes.
The other night, you know, and there was no panic.
Yeah.
This coach is so calm in the way he builds his team.
But Tata's been around the block still.
Yeah.
So,
Tata Martino is quite experienced. He's been at the highest level, and there's a high level of expectation from him in that Mexican setup. So I think Mexican fans will be disappointed if they don't win this actual Gold Cup this year.
Yeah.
His style fits Mexico.
I think they're the best team right now in the CONCACAF, based on what I saw.
I agree. You know? I agree. Now, Costa Rica is sitting out there, and they are already always a huge team in this tournament, and we expect them to give a very good account of themselves. I haven't seen them play of late. I don't see them playing a lot of friendly games. I don't know what's going on with the Costa Rican team, but I do expect Costa Rica to be competitive in this tournament. Any other teams that you think would show up and probably try to push the level of competition in our region here? The Panamas of the world, Honduras of the world?
No.
I don't think Honduras has it in them any at all.
Yeah, all of these teams depend on generations. You need to get that generational group of players that come up together. So no, Mexico is the team.
And Panama is coming off the World Cup, and they played a few games recently and they did quite well. So I'm curious to see, can they take it a step further? And they usually try to so with the potential regress of the U.S., because just basing on the recent run of form with Greg Berhalter's team here, I do expect some sort of fall off from the U.S. in this tournament. There might be a void or a space there for Panama or Costa Rica to step in to try to win this thing or compete with a Mexico.
But what is a fall off for America though? America will come out the group, and if they lose, just like when Jamaica beat them, what is it, quarterfinals? Oh no, it was semifinals.
Yeah.
Who's in their group, Junior?
Who's in America?
I'll check. I
think Trinidad definitely is in their group. Because they're saying that Trinidad game is a revenge game for them. So I know Trinidad definitely is in the group. And I want to say it's Guatemala or Benton is checking right now to verify, but I know for 100% fact that Trinidad is in the group. Because they're touting that game as a big revenge game.
So their group is Guyana, Panama, Trinidad, and of course them, USA. Yeah. So it's Trinidad, Panama.
Okay.
So that's actually
the Panama game might be tricky for them.
Yes, the Panama game might be tricky. So the Jamaica group is Curacao, El Salvador, Honduras, and Jamaica. Top two come out.
We can come out of that group.
Yeah.
It's not what I saw the other night. We can come out of that group.
We're playing in Jamaica.
We're playing at home.
So
that's an advantage for us.
Yeah, that's a big advantage. So and with the Leon Bailey factor, stadium should be full.
Yes, it should be full. So we expect Jamaica to come out there.
Yeah, it should.
In the next group, Bermuda, Costa Rica, Haiti, and Nicaragua. The hunch seems to be Costa Rica and Haiti coming out of that.
Easy.
And of course, in Group A, we have Canada, Cuba, Martinique, and Mexico.
That is a group of death.
Yes.
How so?
That Asian team.
No, Martinique.
Martinique?
Don't sleep on Martinique. Canada, Martinique, Mexico, and Curacao, right? No.
Yeah, so Canada, Cuba, Martinique, and Mexico.
Do not sleep on Martinique. So they will give Canada a run for their money.
Yeah.
They will. And
the Canadian team hasn't been... You remember back in '98, those period of times?
Yeah.
You used to have some real formidable Canadian teams. Yeah. Over the years, I think Canada has regressed.
Yeah.
Somewhat. They haven't been producing anything to shout about in terms of teams.
Yeah.
And
when you said that, Sean, I can hear the Canadian fans screaming through their screen.
Screaming at you, boy.
Screaming at you because they're saying, what about Alphonso Davies, the Bayern Munich future
It don't matter. We're talking about teams here. It's all the team play.
So
I remember America had a Bayern Munich future too.
yes.
Exactly.
So, hey.
So, but regarding Canada, and I agree with you, Sean, on your sentiment. But regarding Canada, what I'm curious to see is, there's a lot of hype about Alphonso Davies and this Canadian team. So I'm looking to see, can they actually, and I think a Julian Hoylett also plays for them. Can they actually capitalize on some of those talented players that they have? Because
let's see.
Well, we know they're not beating Mexico.
We know they're not beating Mexico.
They're going to have to struggle with Martinique. I'm telling you, watch out for Martinique.
I think so, Junior.
Tricky.
I honestly think
watch out
so.
for Martinique. Martinique is a team that always give Jamaica trouble.
This is true. I agree with Martinique.
So watch out for them. They
have some French players playing too, Junior.
Right.
Yes.
The Martinique,
Exactly. They have a lot of French players.
Yes.
That plays for Martinique. A lot of French players.
And to kind of piggyback on the Jamaica group for a little bit, and we want to move on to other news. But Martinique, to me, is almost linked with Curacao.
Yeah.
Curacao. These two teams, they led the Nations League qualifiers for CONCACAF, and Jamaica struggled against El Salvador in the Nations League qualifier. You have Honduras that finished in the top 6 of the Hex. The only advantage that Jamaica have is that it's at home.
Yeah.
It's at home. So that's it. So, but there is a possibility that Jamaica might not make it out of this group.
It's very possible. It's very, very possible. But
it's possible, but I honestly think they will.
It will be a failure.
It will be a failure.
I think they will.
Epic failure.
It will be an epic failure. All right, so football lovers, the CONCACAF Gold Cup will kick off this weekend. Big games coming on the pipe in our region, and we will follow us on social media, all our social media set up so we can track and keep scores on the game. We will follow with the Reggae Boys, and one day if the Reggae Boys team will strike before the Gold Cup. They did this a few years ago. They said they would not take the field unless certain payments was agreed upon. So who knows?
We will see.
We will see. To segue from football in our region, from CONCACAF, to just touch the Copa Americas for a little bit. And Neymar, the great, wonderful Neymar. Neymar has been accused of rape. He's stripped of the captaincy down there in Brazil. I mean, what's going on with Neymar these days? And Neymar had to go in and give a statement to the police. So this rape allegation seems to be a bit serious.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on this? And so how does Neymar also picked up an injury. The noise around Neymar and the strip to the captaincy, the injury, will this affect this Brazilian team in this tournament? Because he's officially out. So that's probably a good thing for them, right?
I think it's a great thing for them.
Yeah.
Now, I remember though, the rape charges has been dropped.
Okay. The rape charge, so what is it now?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
So this is new today?
Wasn't it dropped, Sean?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard the latest, but I wouldn't be surprised. And why I'm going to say I wouldn't be surprised, I read the entire script even before. I remember Benton, I mentioned something about it before the whole thing came out with the videos.
Yeah.
I had mentioned it after I read it, and I'm saying there was something I found fishy with the whole thing, and I'm not saying that he's not. The lady is not telling the truth, but what I was saying is you invited somebody, you pay your money and bring them down into a different country and everything, and she's a female. She was the same one that spoke and said yes, she wanted to have sex with the footballer. You understand? And then when we go down there now, we're hearing something totally different, and so with that, in a court of law, you would have to have that lady would have to have a really, really strong lawyer to really have something like that stick. Plus, when Neymar got injured the other night in the practice match, who went to the hospital to look for him?
And the president.
The president of Brazil, and said he believed. Plus, he came out with a statement and said he believed in the baller. Now, when you hear something like that, Junior, you already see what's going to happen with a case like this.
Yeah.
This is Brazil. Come on. This is Brazil.
It's not.
You understand? Yeah. So she didn't have a chance. Her story sounds a little fishy in the sense that her first set of legal team step away from her because they said she changed her story based from what they had planned to do. So she went and get somebody else.
My mistake. The rape accusation wasn't dropped. I would refer to a different story.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think it's going anywhere though.
I don't think so either.
No. But it's not good for him. It's not good for him though.
Yeah, it's not good. You know, my friend down in Brazil said that it seems like they have their own saga of the Kardashian inside that Brazilian locker room. How do we expect Brazil to go about this Copa America? This is a huge tournament for Felipe Coutinho and the Brazilian national team. There's no Neymar now, so they're going to have to go it alone without him. They're hosting this tournament. We had the embarrassment from the World Cup. They need to win this tournament, don't they?
They're going to win this tournament very easily.
Lionel Messi, what do you have to say about this?
Lionel Messi.
You know, Junior, I'm a Brazilian, Junior.
Yeah.
Right? All the way. But, in terms of sentiments, though, Junior, Brazil don't really need this tournament,
They do. I think they do, Sean.
They do,
no,
Sean.
You know why I said they don't need it? You know who really need this tournament?
Argentina.
Messi.
Argentina.
Messi does. Yeah.
Brazil don't need this tournament.
Yeah,
Argentina need not even Argentina. Messi needs this tournament. And to be honest with you, as a Brazilian, I would love for Messi to win a world tournament. And if this is it, I would help to celebrate with him, even though I am a Brazilian fan.
Messi,
you know, because let me tell you why. Messi, there's too much negativity to Messi name when it comes to team football.
World football, yeah.
Yeah, national team.
You know, there's too much negativity, and I think that it's a bit unfair to him because Messi is one of the best talent we have seen in our time.
Yeah.
You know, and for him to go down, not only not winning a world tournament, but also go down as being a selfish, disruptive player, and this is the reason why him don't win a world tournament.
Well, we'll see.
To me, it's a bit unfair and unfortunate.
Yeah, but
I would love for him to win it.
We don't have any sympathy for who don't want to go win it. So Messi, save your drama. You're crying for somewhere else. We're pushing up against the time, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Ball chat followers and football lovers. Sean. You have Brazil winning the Copa America. Biggs, you have Brazil winning it. So the Copa America officially kicks off this weekend. We'll give you updates also on our social media platform. Hopefully we'll get some live images down in Brazil as we have another rep down there. Will be keeping us update. So Ball Chat followers.
Anton, one more thing before you go. Sorry. Just a score update. 84th minute. Portugal leading Netherlands 1-0 in the UEFA League Finals. The goal was scored in the 60th minute by Carlo Guedes.
Yeah, Gonzalo Guedes.
Guedes, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Sean, this is not good for Messi, all right? Because now Cristiano Ronaldo will win another national tournament, and now.
I'm ready to pull that card.
We could not, Sean. We would have rather, as a Messi fan, I would have rather you not come here with that update.
No, man. What I'm saying, don't get me wrong, Remember, I made it clear, I'm a Brazilian fan.
I joke about.
I'm a Brazilian fan, so I am just trying to help out the baller.
Netherlands, Virgil van Dijk, and Netherlands, please take the egg off Messi's face and rescue this game against Portugal, because you cannot have Cristiano Ronaldo win a national trophy. He already won a Euro title, and now we won the inaugural.
Well, they only have 5 minutes to do it, so.
The inaugural.
And based on how I'm seeing the game going, it don't look likely.
It does not look like. Lionel Messi, Barcelona baller. Football lovers. Follow us on social media. We're going to be keeping up the update on the FIFA Women's World Cup, the CONCACAF Gold Cup, the Copa Americas, all that stuff on our social media platform. Ball Chat 1 on Twitter, Ball Chat Podcast on Instagram, Ball Chat Podcast on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, tell friend, enemy, everyone about our show. Ball Chat Podcast on our Mixcloud platform for our audio audio medium only. And what else? Ball Chat Podcast on Facebook.
We're everywhere.
We're there everywhere.
Check us out.
Check us out.
Later.
JFF, pay the reggae boys their money.
Big up yourself, come on in Paris.
Yes. Big up.
Yo, Sean, later.
Respect.
All right.